Hey guys, welcome back to Passport to Photography. Steve Carson here. And have you ever wondered how it is you need to format an image in Photoshop so that it can avoid the compression technology that Instagram pushes against it if it's wrong? I haven't either, but I made a video about it anyway, so stay tuned, it's coming up next.
Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So right off the bat here, I've got an image that I loaded up that I took some time ago of the Chesapeake Bay. This is from the eastern shore of the Chesapeake Bay, looking back at the Chesapeake Bay Bridge right here and the rest of Maryland. So with that being said, let's move on. So in terms of our specifications for Instagram, this is what we're looking at. Basically, in a nutshell, um, it has to have a width of between 320 and 1080. I'm going to just, in this, for the sake of this video, I'm going to stay focused on the 1080 because that's the maximum amount. And usually when we are posting images to Instagram, we are looking to maximize the image as much as we can. So I'm just going to, like I said, focus on the 1080, and so that's the pixels in terms of the maximum width, and then the photo's aspect ratio between 1.91 to 1 and 4 to 5. 4 to 5, I believe, is what is used for an 8 by 10. That is the aspect ratio for the crop for an 8 by 10. So um, height between 566 and 1350. So okay, so I know that if the width is going to be 1080, if we're cropping at this aspect ratio of 4 to 5, and I manually set the width at 1080, the height is automatically going to become 1350, and I'll show you that here in just a second. So right here again, we're going back to our image and say I want to go ahead and get this ready to be Instagrammable. So Instagram doesn't put its algorithm screws to my photo and jack up the color and all of that. So here we go there. I've already got it selected at 4 to 5, and I kind of like that. I think it looks pretty. It's nice and centered. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. Okay, very good. And so then now I've done the cropping part, so that's one part of it. And so the other part of it is for the pixel size. So the width can be a maximum of 1080, we said. So 1080. And when you put this input this value in for the pixels, make sure that this little link is checked. That way it will automatically adjust the height based on what the width input you put in there. So click OK, and there we go. And yeah, okay, perfect. Very good. All right, and so the next thing that we want to do is, yeah, the next thing that we want to do here is for the specification for posting to Instagram is we want to make sure that this image is in using the sRGB color profile, and we also want to make sure that it is 8 bits, and we can go and check both by going up here to mode, and I have RGB, although I know this is actually sRGB, and I'll show you here in just a second. And we are at 8 bits, so perfect. So going back to RGB, just to make sure that it's sRGB, I can confirm that by going up to Edit, Color Settings, and when it's RGB, it's using the sRGB display profile. So that's how I know I'm good to go there. And something else you may want to check, and this is just an extra little bit of advice that I'm going to give. The background here for my Photoshop workspace is dark gray, as you can tell. And what I like to generally do, and I wasn't thinking about it here at the moment, is change it when I'm going to be editing an image to be used for Instagram. I like to change that background color from the dark gray to what I have set for my custom, which is white. And I do that because white is the background color in Instagram, and so sometimes you may edit something here on a dark background and think it looks great, and then once you import it into Instagram, you're like, uh, wow, the white in the sky really, kind of bleeds into the whole background here. You can't really tell where the picture ends or, begins along the edge there because the white is just like the same color as the background. So I oftentimes like to set my background color to match that of Instagram just so I can manage it a little bit better and see what it's going to look like. But not a big concern for this image because we don't have any real white color in this. So I think we're going to be good to go there. Also, stay tuned to the very end of the video because I've got a trick I'm going to show you that's going to make posting these images that you do your editing here on Photoshop, they're going to be much, much simpler to post in Instagram if you follow my little trick. So that'll be at the very end, so stay tuned. Okay, so now that we got the aspect ratio done, we got the size, we're doing sRGB, and we have 8 bits. So we're pretty good at that point. So the only thing really that we need to do here is go ahead and do our export. File, save as, and I've got an Instagram, yeah, right there. That was something else I did earlier. I'll just overwrite it. Yep. And I can make it even bigger than that because that's pretty small. Yeah, 847, that's fine. Okay, you notice there's a lot of grain in this. I actually, when I processed this, I used a Visco preset, and Visco preset for analog film, and it added a lot of analog film like grain into this. So that wasn't me forgetting to take noise out of the sky here. So okay. So now for the trick. So we've saved this to our local hard drive, but when you think about it, you'd say, okay, so now, well, that's great. I've edited that photo, but I've saved it to my hard drive. Now I've got to somehow get it to my phone so I can post it to Instagram, or I'm going to have to use some kind of middleware, like a Google Drive or some other like cloud solution, so that I can get this over to my phone so I can go ahead and post it to Instagram. And that's actually not the case. If we go here, I'm going to open up another tab, and I'm going to go to my Instagram account. So here I'm at my Instagram account, and I'm using Google Chrome. If I go over here and click on these 3 dots, if you drop down to More Tools, and then go over to Developer Tools, this is the mobile device display. This is how this is all going to look on a mobile device. And so that's what you want. We're almost there. If you reload this page, we're going to get the little plus icon at the bottom where we can go ahead and add an image. Boom. There you go. So now from our desktop on our computer, we can click that, go back here, make our selection, and voila. And because we've sized it appropriately and done everything correctly, Instagram is going to post this 100% in its entirety. Nothing's going to be cropped. Our color isn't going to be messed with or anything like that, so it's going to appear just like this on our feed. So you click next, you put your caption, hashtags, location, tag whoever, and then go ahead and hit share. I'm not going to do it at this point, but you get the point. So that's it. So that's my little trick on how to actually post images that you have saved on your local hard drive on your desktop computer to Instagram without having to migrate those over. So when you go through your editing process like we did here, you'll be able to readily just turn right around and get those over to Instagram without having to fumble with your phone and get them over there and all of that. So, all right. So that's today's video. I hope that you guys found it useful and can employ this strategy going forward for your Instagram photos. I hope it helps a whole lot. If it did, please let me know what you think, if you found it useful or not. And if you did find it useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps out my channel a whole lot, and I really appreciate it. So until next time, we'll see you then, and happy shooting. See ya.